begin with murder. It was a cold October night in 1933 when she walked back into my life again.
Trope, honey, I need you.
Her face, her hair, her perfume. All the lifetimes worth of emotions came flooding back when she came to my apartment that night looking for help. It's Detective to you, Dolores. What do you want this time?
My sweet Wilbur disappeared from work today. He never came back from lunch.
Oh, Wilbur. What hurt me the most is he left me for a bum like that. I mean, sure, he made good dough, but I feel like she really needed a man who worked 9 to 5. You know, dames need that. Perhaps he just flew the coop, like you left me.
Trope, Detective, forgive me for never saying goodbye. I know I did you wrong.
With your connections, you could have hired the best detective in New York. Why me?
You are always the best.
Still wasn't enough for you. You still a canary over at Joey's place?
Yes, but can we talk about my Wilbur?
What's in it for me? Excuse me, Dolores. Detective Trope here. You don't say. Where? Well, do you know who it might have been? Okay, I'm on my way.
Who was that?
Listen, Toots, I'll meet you later. There was a homicide at the docks.
It's almost midnight. I guess the job never stops.
You knew that even before we were in Ireland.
Are you going to help me find Wilbur or not?
Sure thing, but we've got to deal with this first. Get home and get some shut-eye. Wilbur's probably at a bar somewhere, don't worry.
He doesn't drink.
Never trusted a man who didn't swear a drink. Later, Dolores.
Thank you, Detective.
And just like that, the woman I once loved has gone back into my life. Too bad for the circumstances. My guess is that Wilbur will show up eventually. It's too conservative not to. At least I got to see the Lawson last time.
Hey, try to give it to me. Have you got ID, mister?
No wallet, but I'm looking maybe a banker, maybe a lawyer.
Sure, I can see it. Based on his clothes, he definitely ain't no bum. Maybe a bookie? Golly, this sure looks like a hit based on the location and the amount of lead in the victim.
Yeah, you think Big Bruno has anything to do with this?
It's his territory for sure. Who knows? But we need to track the triggerman. Hey, make sure Trope doesn't find out about this one, all right?
We called him as soon as we figured out it was a murder.
But of all the lousy ideas, do you know his history with Bruno? This could get ugly quick.
We thought it was an all-hands-on-deck type situation.
They can't see anything?
Nothing.
Then who called it in?
Dispatcher said it was an anonymous tip.
This stinks to high heaven. If Big Bruno's involved, is he just mocking us?
But why, Red?
Don't know. Were there any other important calls tonight? Anything strange?
The power went down at Misfit, a couple drunks, nothing else.
The first thing we need to do is figure out who the victim was.
Speaking of the devil, that's Wilbur Nowicki.
You know
More or less, we missed him this afternoon.
him? You know, sometimes I think you're clairvoyant.
All part of playing the game, Red.
Sorry to have to call you in so late, Detective.
Did you find him like this?
Sure did.
That was after an anonymous call.
Do you mind if I can have a moment?
That's why we called you.
Do your thing. Let's give him a minute.
All right. Tell me, Wilbur, what you get yourself into this time? Based on your trajectory, you were backing up and you were murdered, which means you saw the gunman. There are at least 4 men here based on the amount of tobacco in this ashtray. And this cigar. I don't know very many men who could afford it. Let's see. No wallet, but his watch and car keys are still here. Oh boy. Dolores is not gonna like this. Well, it's definitely not a robbery. This shoe has been recently repaired. My friend put him aside. Interesting. Hey, Red.
What's the skinny Trope?
This cop is here. Is there a cop packed outside?
Not directly outside. I'm gonna get the boys to search the area.
Go ahead. But if we give you this bucket glass by choice, you most likely knew the perks.
How do you figure?
No work burns in his hands and feet. Most likely your business still not bad.
Anything else?
I think maybe one of the families did this. Do you know who owns this place?
Big Top Industries, but there's not really a history on it. You think it may be a front?
Right, I'm gonna have to ask you to double check that ownership. I doubt that one of the families would be stupid enough to leave a stiff on their doorstep. Oh, boy, what a break that'd be.
But if Big Bruno's involved, are you gonna be alright?
If he is, I'm not the one you have to worry about. I have to go check on something. Red, when you're finished here, can you send me a copy of the report?
Sure thing. Hey, is there any chance you can fill me on any leads?
Not yet. I've got to talk to an old friend.
She got a name?
Later, Red. I'll drop by tomorrow.
And Trope?
Yeah?
Be careful with them dames.
Never.
Hey, boss, everything is taken care of.
Very good. What took you so long?
We had to make sure we're followed.
Why exactly would you be followed?
I mean, after we took care of everything, we had to make sure there weren't any outlookers around the docks.
Fine, fine. Did Wilbur make it home okay?
What do you mean, boss? I mean, yeah, I gotta be with him and all.
You escorted him home, right?
Thought you wanted us to take care of him.
You said that, boss. I heard it.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Don't tell me you iced poor Wilbur. I'm surprised nobody objected to this situation.
See here, boss.
The one guy we need right now. What were you thinking? What if Bad Eddie finds out?
But what you said, boss.
I said take care of him in a nice, loving way. Not make him a stiff. What have you done to me? If Trope finds out, I'm headed to the slammer and never getting out. You no good stinking knuckleheaded buffoons. I ought to take you out right now.
Please, boss, we're sorry. It won't happen again.
What to do, boys? Did you at least get the papers?
They're in the car.
And the bean shooter you
Hey,
used?
Hudson.
Aces. Anything else I need to know?
Well, here's Wilbur's wallet.
So you made it look like a robbery, huh?
Well, we were going to, but the cops showed up real quick.
How quick you talking?
Don't know, but we ran with her dishonest. See, we ain't going to the big house.
We're gonna have an even bigger problem than that. Go get the papers. Actually, we can make this work. And tell no one about tonight, or both of you will be sleeping with the fishes.
Sir.
And get rid of that wallet. Can nobody link this to us? Nobody, you hear me? Now go get them papers while I call an emergency meeting.
But it's for the boarding.
This can't wait. We have to move fast now.
How are the leads? I'm about ready to call it a night.
Will you check out the corner before you split?
Fine. What are you calling up on?
Not much to go on, Red. You know Dolores down at Jody's place?
Sure, boy. She's got legs that go on for miles. I'll never understand why you let a gal like her go. You think she knows something?
Well, Wilbur was her guy.
You think she hired someone to off him?
No, nothing like that. Wilbur was into securities, bonds, stuff like that. He had his hands in a lot of people's pockets. Yet Dolores thought she found a good one.
Everyone in this town stinks. No one's clean anymore.
No one?
Except us, of course. Anyways, what's your angle?
I'm hoping that Canary has the keys to Wilbur's office.
Will she even talk to you?
Trust me, I've got this, Fred. Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
After some rest, can you hit the pavement to Wilbur's office? I'm pretty sure there are 2 shoe repair places near there. See if they saw Wilbur yesterday.
Need cup on it?
No, I need you. But get some sleep first. Listen, Wilbur was well off and wearing a tailor-made suit when he was gunned down. My question, why did he show up to the docks last night with muddy shoes that had just been repaired?
How do you know the repair was recent?
The color of the material used was brand new, and there was no mud when the repair took place. The repair was made with haste, and after Will was stepped in the mud. Boy, something stinks.
Do you think he was being blackmailed or blackmailing someone?
Who knows, but Will would never really have a spine.
I'll sniff out the shoe shops tomorrow, Trope.
Oh, you won. Good night, Red.
Don't you mean good morning? Hey, have you told Dolores yet?
Haven't had the heart. I'll wait till later this morning.
She deserves to know, Trope. If you want, I can do it on the way home. Good drive back.
No, just get some shut-eye, okay?
Trope, I'm still thinking you were too close to this case.
I'm just fine, pal.
I can handle it myself if you need me to.
I know you could, but it ain't no crumb. We can do this together. Oh, by the way, did you get your report ready?
Everything except the coroner report. It's all on your desk.
Thanks, Red.
I'll get you on the horn tomorrow if I find anything with the shoe shops.
Later.
Gentlemen, sorry for getting you up early this morning. It has come to my attention that we need to up the timetable. Last night, Rosa Nowicz was found dead by police, and we believe someone knows our plan.
Bruno, why would you suspect such a thing?
He was often in one of our dock warehouses. We don't know why he was there, but he didn't have his briefcase.
Whose territory?
Mine.
And how exactly did the brass find his body?
Someone must have heard gunshots. Lucky, trust me on this one. We need to up the timetable, especially if Wilbur was selling us out.
To who? The Irish, Russians, Yugoslav, or the Coppers?
We don't know that yet.
If that is true, count me out, Bruno. If you're spooked enough to hold this meeting this early morning, something big is about to go down. You can have my share. Capiche? I'm out.
We understand, Lucky. Go in peace.
Bruno, you know I always support your ideas. Next time I'll put in 40% collateral with only 2% interest. We'll handle the whole operation for you, for good faith.
We can talk about that later.
I'm out of here.
Gentlemen, sorry for the interruption. Poor Lucky here was going to sell us out to Detective Trope and his gumshoes in about an hour. We received a tip from one of my boys on the force, so we called Lucky yesterday. Right, boys?
Yes, sir.
My boys here found that Lucky was getting copies of all our deeds to show the brass. He was the informant. Sadly, he was blackmailing poor Wilbur to comply. May he rest in peace. Boys, go get rid of this gutter trash.
So, Bruno, I think the rest of us are perfectly fine with moving up the timetable. When shall I expect the first shipment?
I'll reach out to our friends from the east. 2 weeks tops. That should just be perfect.
Are they using the Xiaojing or Ling Xiao?
That's for me to know.
And are all your boys ready?
Everything's being handled, Tony. All we have to do is sit tight and make sure Trope doesn't catch our scent.
Since Trope already knows about Wilbur, how are we going to throw him off the trail?
I think Lucky Lamont just became our fall guy. Anyone have a problem with that?
But he's dead. Bruno!
Trust me, boys, we're scot-free. Spread the word. Lucky is working on a big deal in Chicago. You could even say he's working on a special deal between Bad Eddie and the Irish.
You think that'll work? What about his turf? People are going to be suspicious if the collection's stopped.
We split it between me, you, Billy, and Luigi. Just keep it quiet.
What about his dame?
Luigi, you were close to Lucky. Will his dame play ball with us?
Sure, she knows the game. Remember, she used to run with Twinkle Toes.
May he rest in peace too. Luigi, you handled the broad. Everything else will fall in place.
Speaking of dames, does Dolores know about Wilbur yet?
I'll handle that. She comes by asking and tell her he was doing business with Lucky. That's all we know.
Good. Should we tell Bad Eddie anything?
Not yet. I don't want him to be worried. Keep this to ourselves, at least until the shipment comes in. If anyone hears from Trope or his boys, get me on the horn. Meeting adjourned.
Telling Dolores a man was gone was going to be one of the toughest conversations I had in a while. Dolores, I have something to tell you.
You should have told me sooner.
I had to go check into things. I had to find out.
People talk, detective. Can you imagine being home all alone and getting a call from some nobody at the club? To find out my sweet Wilbur had been gunned down? I knew it was the same call you got the night at your apartment. Why didn't you tell me then?
The investigation comes first. You know me.
You're heartless.
Dolores, I'm a realist. Wilbur was a good man. So I just had to happen.
You want to know something? I knew he was working with one of the families. Nowadays, everyone has something going on in the shadows.
Not me. Who's he working for, Dolores?
Always a gumshoe. I remember you used to hold me in your arms so passionately. Where's that understanding now?
It took every fiber of my being to take that woman back into my arms. Sometimes what you want to do, what needs to be done, are different. My condolences, Dolores. I want justice for Wilbur. Can't you see that?
No, Trope. You want another case solved. Wilbur's murder is just another file to you.
Is it working for Big Bruno?
You would love for me to say that, wouldn't you?
Dolores, I'm looking for the facts. Be reasonable.
Are you looking for revenge too?
Dolores, you're not gonna rattle me. Who did Wilbur work for?
You just won't quit, will you?
Let me help Wilbur.
Wilbur's dead, Trope! Don't know. I think Lucky Lamont, they had a deal going on in Chicago.
Did he talk about Lucky?
Never, but we didn't discuss his clients.
How do you know about Lucky?
Called around this morning.
Someone told you? Just like that?
Women can get anything they want when they know who to call.
Who's your contact?
You know, I think you should leave. You've done enough, which is nothing at all except upset me.
Thank you for the information, Dolores. May I ask you one thing?
If it means you get out, why not?
You have the keys to Wilbur's office? They weren't on his person.
You're lucky he gave me his fare.
Thank you, Dolores.
Don't come back until you find out who killed him. Promise me.
Promise. Lucky Lamont. Who would have guessed it? Lucky would have stayed and deserted the town. Why the dots? What was Wilbur doing to get himself gunned down in Big Bruno's territory? Too many questions, not enough answers. So we gotta move faster.
It's a 45 caliber round, most likely from a Thompson due to the fact that most of the rounds completely penetrated his body and 14 rounds hit him before he hit the ground. Could have also been from numerous very close 1911s.
Poor fellow. Anything else?
Surprisingly, Wilbur didn't die instantly. There was blood on his hands where he tried to cover the wounds. Must have been horrible.
What was the TOD?
7:30 to 10:30 p.m. yesterday. The gunshot went to the cause of death, and he suffered a hip fracture and a bruised rib. This is most likely caused by him falling. I'll have the official report later today.
Thanks. Did you get anything about the red run-up shoes?
Best I can figure, it looks like bauxite residue.
What is that?
Waste generated when refining cement, bricks, tiles, and other construction materials. It's slightly toxic and typically disposed of.
So, Wilbur was walking through a construction site of some kind before he died?
Most likely not. Bauxite residue is kept outside plants or landfills where the bricks are made. Construction sites would have no use for it.
So then where would I find this bauxite residue?
No idea, but if it's waste you're looking for, I'd check Josie first.
Thanks, John. I'll start checking on the bauxite residue tomorrow. Who knows what'll turn up with that?
One more thing, Red. Wilbur had a wedding ring in his jacket breast pocket.
He was gonna ask his parents to marry him?
No, I think it was his own.
So a cheater, eh? Or is anyone like that one?
Who?
Never mind. I'll see you later, John.
So, what do you think Big Bruno's up to?
No idea, but must be something big. I'm surprised he hasn't filled us in yet.
Say Tony or Luigi on him?
Nah, Bruno's too smart for them. Just watch, where's him out on top?
Hello, boys. How's Big Bruno these days?
Living life on the up and up. Why are you so interested, detective?
Someone was murdered down by the docks of Sedan and his turf. I don't suppose you two know anything about it.
People die all the time. We have no idea what you're talking about, detective. Maybe we should go see a psychic or something.
Why are you two in Lamont's territory?
Nice try, detective. You're barking up the wrong tree today.
You see, I doubt that. I've spent all morning shaking up Lucky's territory, and guess what?
We naturally have no clue what you're talking about.
Everyone says the same thing. Lucky's on a business for Chicago. Then I hear you two been walking into every single business in his territory. That sound a little strange to you boys?
Ever heard of shopping? It's a beautiful day after all.
Yeah, we're just enjoying our God-given freedom as Americans. You got a problem with that, detective?
No, not at all. Very well then. We are watching you guys.
Sure thing. Enjoy your day, detective. And by the way, get some sleep. You look like death won't go.
And what's that supposed to imply?
Oh, nothing. We just want to make sure you're rested well enough to serve and protect our fine community.
Yeah, beat it, you two. What a curious case this is. Let's assume Lucky really is on business and he allowed Big Bruno's goons to collect from his territory. That would mean that what was going on in Chicago was way bigger than his business up here. The other option is something's happened to Lucky. Lucky and Big Bruno's making him take his turf. And actually, if that idiot would never allow this, I'm sure of it. Either way, something big's happening in the family. Trope, you gotta be quick. Hopefully Red has something.
Trope, we have some leads.
What do you have?
First off, I checked the company where Wilbur was killed. Turns out it was just bought out by some company called International Transports NYC. They have no history, owners, or employees listed on their LLC.
So it's a front.
That's my best guess.
What'd you find of the shoes?
There was only one shoe repair shop open on Wilbur's way to work. It was a dead end, but John said that the red mud was actually bauxite residue. I did some digging, and there are only 6 companies in the state of New York that generate bauxite waste, and guess what? Only one of them is owned by International Transports NYC.
Bingo! You're a genius, Red! You've been way more protected than I have.
And guess what? Wilbur was married.
To who?
The records say Nora May Sanderson. I did some digging and pulled her address, and she lives over in Brooklyn.
Want to go over and check it out?
Sure thing. Oh, and did you get the keys to Wilbur's office?
Yeah. His office was in perfect order when I got there. I looked through most of his files and didn't really see anything. I think we should head back over there and wait Miss Anderson's place. Maybe we can find her in International Transports NYC.
Let me grab my coat.
This is leading to something really big, Red. I can feel it.
Do you think this is another one of Big Bruno's schemes?
Not exactly. This time, Lucky Lamont will be the one who's International Transports NYC.
Lucky? But he's never been so brave. He is the head of the Lamont family. And besides, why would he buy property on Big Bruno's territory?
Something doesn't add up. Did you find anything related to Chicago in your research?
No, nothing. What does Chicago have to do with this?
Perhaps another dead end. Come on.
So, Dolores, you finally came through. I'm proud of you.
Trope's sure that Lucky was the one Wilbur was working for. He better not find out I was involved.
He won't.
Remember, I need my cut as soon as possible.
There will be plenty of dough to spread around once the shipment comes in. By the way, thanks for the tip-off.
Well, the sooner Bad Eddie's sleeping with the fishes, the better we'll all be. By the way, when are you going to do it?
Patience. Now that Wilbur and Lucky are dead, we don't need to move too quick. Oh, my boys finally told me it was your idea to ice Wilbur. I'm impressed. Not slightly confused.
Well, he did me wrong.
Well, hell hath no fury, eh, boys?
All right, boss.
Wilbur's death was his own fault. I don't like liars and cheats. Nobody does that to me.
But to stare in his eyes when you pulled the trigger, you are one tough dame.
I'm sure if I loved him, I would have felt something. Now, can we please stop talking about Wilbur?
I need you to continue to work with Trope. See what he knows. Make sure he's going down the wrong path.
Oh, that'll be easy. I still have a hold over him. Now, I'm worried about Bad Eddie. What if he finds out the shipment's coming in early?
Bad Eddie's too concerned with his persona these days. But if anything happens, my boys have it covered.
Excellent. I'll head over to the precinct and wait for Trope. He won't know I'm coming. Maybe I'll catch him off guard.
Aces.
I found something!
What is it?
It's a letterhead from International Transports NYC. It says the ship is coming into port in 2 weeks. It says it's shipping gravel from China.
Why would anyone pay for anything from China?
I think you know what's going on here, Red.
All ears, Trope?
You said that bauxite residue of Wilbur's shoes was used in commercial bricks, tiles, and other building materials.
Sure did.
Is that an expensive process?
Not too expensive from what I understand, but it does take time.
Is it subject to government guidelines?
Do you think they're supplementing unregulated Chinese material from American-made products to make them cheaper?
Let's assume that an American 55 bag of concrete is $1. What if you produce it for 25 cents instead of 55 cents? You can more than double your profits by supplying it with filler.
Wouldn't it be unstable?
Depends on how much filler and what's in it. Maybe Lucky found a cheaper but more legal way to make certain building materials.
But then wouldn't the feds catch it?
Not necessarily. If they tested out the production plant. Maybe the materials are shipped to a separate location and replaced with some sort of Chinese filler substance.
So Wilbur got his shoes dirty by checking on the process.
Maybe this whole thing is a simple bait and switch scam.
I could see Lucky getting into something like this, but why would Wilbur, a stocks and bonds guy, get into the brick and tile business?
Wilbur was a finance guy. He made sure everything looked like the up and up for International Transports NYC. He was probably getting a huge cut of the deal. Plus, if International Transports NYC became a publicly traded company that could make millions.
So make sure we get all the paperwork on International Transports NYC.
Good thinking. I can't believe they would just leave all this evidence here in Wilbur's office.
So then what's the next step?
I think it's about time we let the chief know about the shipment. We can grab this whole thing wide open. We just need to find Lucky. I have a friend in Chicago. Maybe he can poke around.
Just remember, this whole thing, it's a theory. We can't move the bait and switch. And so we can't make any arrests on this just yet.
But at least we have a motive for Wilbur dying.
What is that?
I think someone found out what Wilbur and Lucky was doing and was left out of the deal. There's another party in this scheme.
The warehouse was on Big Bruno's territory.
Could be Big Bruno or even Bad Eddie.
Bad Eddie? He's been retired for years. You really don't think he has something to do with this, do you?
We can't rule out anyone. We might catch a big fish this time. I was moving too fast in this case. I wonder if I'm making too many assumptions that lead you down the wrong path. Looking back, I should have seen the hit.
Sorry, Trope. You were one of the good ones. Sorry, Trope. Honest.
You sold me out?
No, but I had to protect my boss.
You swore an oath to serve and protect. Where am I?
The family adopted me a long time ago, Trope. They've always supported me. And you know the force pays nothing these days. It's not so bad.
So what? Big Bruno gonna come in and ice me? This leads into my partner? Or is it gonna be Lucky?
Trust me, it ain't gonna go that way.
How dare you not give me a fighting chance? Does our friendship not mean anything to you?
I hate Bruno just like you do. I just need you to sit there and listen to reason.
What reason? I'll never be paid off. You might as well kill me.
Like I said, it ain't gonna go that way. Big Bruno is both of our enemies. I just need you to listen. I still think of you as a friend.
Oh, really? Do I have a choice? Untie me!
I need you to promise to keep this meeting a secret. That is for both of our safety.
I will do no such thing. I don't know who you're working for, but I am going to arrest you as soon as you get me out of these ropes.
We're going to be offering you something you want more than anything. I need you to climb off that high horse for just a second. I know you have the moral compass of a saint when it comes to your job, but that time has passed.
Why did you help me with this case? And lead me all the way to the gallows. You knew it wouldn't make any deals.
I know nobody's as dead as you! After all we've been through, all the times I supported you or stuck up for you in the bar, I just need you to listen to me. Just this once. Maybe I'm with you and your family, everything both the possibilities.
I'll never stop being me, Red!
I would never ask you to. I just need you to think in shades of gray.
And what way was that?
Remember when Dolores walked out the door? I could have brought you up when you came to work on this office and said I supported you. I need you to support me and my decision right now.
You have 5 minutes.
You gonna keep this a secret?
I swear.
You can come in now.
Well, well, we finally got the famous Detective Trope. Today's a day for celebration. Red, get the champagne.
Bad Eddie. I should have known.
Look, Trope, I'm gonna level with you. I know you think of me as a no good, but I need you on this one.
For what?
Let me tell you a story. Lucky Lamont was my #1 guy, and after spending 15 years in the big house, I realized we need to go legitimate as a family. So, didn't want to lose any more family members to the big house. I sold several properties that we didn't need and bought an old plant under International Transports NYC with the help of Wilbur Nolan. You following me?
Yeah. Go on.
And Wilbur Nolan set everything up. I wanted to make sure nothing was out of code. Sure, we wouldn't be making the same amount of dollars in the old days, but the feds would be raiding assignment. Then 3 weeks ago, Big Bruno stormed into my home in a rage.
Left him out of the deal?
I wasn't going to let anyone know until everything was finalized. Big Bruno barged in my home talking about profit margins and overhead and how it wouldn't be profitable. He was so furious I had sold so many properties just to fund my materials production operation.
Did you kill Wilbur?
Red, tell him what you saw.
I spent the whole day following around Bruno's goons. Around 6 p.m., they staged a call outside Joey's place with Dolores. They had said that they had kidnapped Dolores and that Wilbur would have to pay 5 G's or else they would kill her. Dolores was never on the deal the whole time.
Okay, wait, no. Dolores couldn't have anything to do with this, right? You're lying!
You know I'm not. Wilbur showed up to the warehouse around 8 p.m. with a briefcase full of money.
You witnessed Big Bruno's goons murder Wilbur Nolan and said nothing to me!
No, I witnessed Dolores gutting down Wilbur. She was the killer, Trope.
That can't be true! I refuse to believe it!
Then, I ran to the nearby payphone and called the police. I couldn't save Wilbur, Trope.
Was Big Bruno there?
In the beginning, yes. He wanted to know everything that Wilbur was doing with International Transports NYC. I had the evidence I needed to tell Bad Eddie that Big Bruno was trying to take over the whole operation.
And the money?
The Lord gave it to Bruno.
So why isn't Big Bruno dead? Eddie, you're the head of the family!
Unfortunately, I quickly come to realize that Big Bruno's just more respected than I am in my old age. I mean, I hired a hitman this morning and he showed back at my front doorstep trying to kill me instead. I'm the head of this family in name only.
So what do you want me to do?
Alright. Since I can't trust anyone else except Reddy, I decided I want to do this thing right. I want you to arrest Big Bruno for the murder of my friend Lucky Lamont. But I need you to leave International Transports out of it. That company is our future.
Wait, Lucky's dead?
His body's in the bottom of the Hudson. I saw Big Bruno's goons dump him, but I was working for Bad Eddie at the time, so I couldn't make any arrests on it.
So, what's the plan?
Alright, so I know Big Bruno wants me dead. I'll invite him over for dinner, and I'll let him know that I know he killed Lucky and about the illegal shipment. And once I show opposition to them both, they'll have no choice but to try and ice me.
You want me to run a sting operation here? I can't believe I'm about to work for a mafia godfather just to catch a bigger crook. And what about Dolores?
Unfortunately, once arrested, Big Bruno will do wherever he can to get time off his sentence. I can't help you there.
Red, you know I'm about to play for the wrong team, right?
This is our chance to finally catch Big Bruno and stop so much crime. We've tried for years to nail this guy, and Bad Eddie has the ticket. Besides, what's Bad Eddie ever done wrong?
Plenty.
Yes, but he's trying to go down the right path, go straight and steady. We're on the right team, Trope. It just looks a little different than what we're used to.
I guess they have no choice.
Eddie, I accept your deal. But once this is over, that's it. We're done.
Deal.
Thank you, Trope.
Red, we're gonna have to have a long talk after this. I want you to resign by the end of the week. I can't work with a rat.
But Trope,
You heard me.
if that is how you feel, I understand.
I'm tired.
Ladies, we are gonna paint the town red.
Oh, Bruno.
Let me tell you, from now on, only the best clubs, dresses, restaurants, and vacation for you ladies.
Bruno, don't make promises you can't.
Things are about to change for the better. Start dreaming, because when you're with Big Bruno, the sky is the limit.
Big Bruno, I need to talk to you.
Get out of my way, Red.
Bad Eddie needs to see you.
Oh, so you're out in the open now. Tell Eddie I'll see him when I have the time.
It's important.
You see these ladies? I ain't in no mood for business. We're about to head down to Joey's.
Finally caught Trope. We thought you would like to finalize the deal.
Wait a minute. The old man has Trope. Why didn't you say so?
Thought that would change your mind.
You better believe it, Red. James, I'll meet you down at Joey's. I better not catch you dancing with no chumps when I get there.
Okay, Bruno, but don't leave us for too long. We get bored easily.
Ah, you gotta love the broads. So how did he catch you?
Trope followed the trail that Lucky left behind. He figured out that Wilbur might have something to do with international transport's MIC, especially since Lucky's so spineless.
So he suspected Lucky and Eddie had something big going down in Chicago?
Exactly. Trope tried to search Bad Eddie's place, but I used chloroform on him. I couldn't let him nab the good boss.
I should have put you on my payroll too. Fine work, Red.
Trope is in Bad Eddie's basement. We shouldn't keep him waiting.
So he wants the blood on my hands, eh? Well, in this situation, I'd gladly do it myself. Red, I thought you were soft for Trope. Why sell him out now?
Tired of everyone treating me like an average Joe. I've solved just as many cases as Trope. He's always such an Abercrombie, like he's the king of the world. I want my time, you know?
You're a lot like me, Red. When this is all over, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure thing. Let's not keep Bad Eddie waiting.
Welcome, Bruno. It's been too long.
Skip the pleasantries. Where's Trope?
Sit down, Bruno, and listen to the head of this family. You owe me 5 minutes for giving you so much.
Eddie, I have to get back to my dames. They're waiting for me. I'm only here for Trope. We can talk tomorrow.
Sit down, Bruno.
Fine. We're all friends here. What do you want?
Been a bad boy, Bruno. I trusted Lucky Lamont with the future of this family. You killed him in cold blood.
Eddie, I don't know what you heard, but I never would have done anything like that.
Don't try to out-con a con man. Tony told me everything. I just want to know why.
Tony has wanted me dead. He probably killed Lucky. I thought he was in Chicago.
Can't stop your lies, can you?
Is Trope even here?
Haven't seen him.
Oh, so this was all a ruse to get revenge for killing Lucky?
And the illegal shipment. You are about to criminalize international transports NYC, and I know about it too.
Eddie, I don't believe this. Dirty is what we do. There's no good stinking fantasy of going straight is for dummies. You hear me?
Oh no, you went behind my back!
So you're gonna fill me full of lead. You lose me, this whole family's headed for the history books. Who do you think has paid off every copper and judge in the tri-state area? I'm the brains of this operation.
Bruno, you You killed Lucky, you have to pay the penalty for that.
So what if I murdered Lucky? He had it coming. He was a no-good, lousy rat that told you everything. I was done with him.
How can you speak so distasteful of one of our own?
You know what? I'm glad I murdered him. I'm gonna enjoy this. Fellas, I'll pay you triple whatever Eddie paid you if you step out into the hallway right now. Red, you can be my guy.
Sorry, Eddie. Bruno makes better deals.
Should have known, you lousy little liver bum.
See, I told you, Eddie. I'm the brains of this operation. After all these years in your shadow, I'm finally on top. Don't you get it? By inviting me here, you sealed your fate. I wasn't gonna bury you till the shipment arrived just in case I needed a fall guy. Any last words?
Murderess!
Trope! So you were here. Surprise, surprise.
Boys, you can come back out now.
What is this? A sting?
Big Bruno, you're being arrested for the murder of Lucky Lamont and the attempted murder of Bad Eddie. Right now, an entire group of divers are checking the huts for bodies. How long do you think it's going to take until we find something?
Eddie, I swear I'll get vengeance for this. This isn't the end of Big Bruno.
Boys, look for the precinct. I'll be by later to fill out the paperwork.
I'll tell them everything about Dolores. She killed Wilbur in cold blood. This is the last night she has as a free woman. You like that, detective?
Crime doesn't pay, Bruno.
Oh, so you knew, huh? Well, Trope, I underestimated you. Hey, you want to know how he killed your partner? He begged for... Boys, get him out of here.
Trope, are you sure you're gonna be all right with Dolores getting locked up? If you are, I could drive by and tell her to get the heck out of Dodge.
Leave it be, Ben. I need to be the one who arrests her.
But Trope,
Trust me, Ben. I need to be the one.
it doesn't have to go like this.
I'm not going to let my motive slip anymore.
Good luck, Trope.
Red, remember what I said about you, but
I know.
Why'd you come to me to tell me that Wilbur was missing 2 days ago?
I was worried.
No, you weren't. Your conscience was practically knocking at your door.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You did a bad thing, Dolores. It's time to cash in your chips.
I've done a lot of bad things in my life.
Why did you do it?
Don't make me say it.
Tell me.
I hate liars and cheats.
You could have just left him like you did me. Why off him like that?
I loved him, and he made a fool out of me.
Why'd you hand the briefcase to Bruno? What was the 5 Gs for?
Remember, Dad?
Of course.
Well, before he left, he owed some gambling debts down in Atlantic City. To pay off those debts, Bruno bailed him out, and in exchange, he promised to work off the debts he owed.
Then the heart attack.
Exactly. And when he couldn't pay up, Bruno came knocking at my door for the dough.
So why didn't you tell me?
How could I? You've always been too square, which is exactly why we couldn't work.
I would have listened to you! I could have gotten Bruno!
You would have arrested me for being an accomplice to an illegal gambling scheme.
Things are set way for a reason, Dolores. I don't know what I would have done.
And that's your issue. Justice above all. So what's it gonna be, detective? Are you gonna take me in, or are you gonna rescue me?
I have a job to do.
Didn't you love me once?
I don't know anymore.
All right then. Go ahead. Arrest me. Let justice reign.
Why did you come to me to tell me that Wilbur was missing?
I don't know. I guess a part of me wanted to turn myself in.
get out of here.
Won't you get into trouble?
Not if I never found you.
You've changed.
Not for the better.
Being human is not a bad thing.
Goodbye, Dolores.
Goodbye, sugar.
And just like that, I never saw her again. Although the faint smell of her perfume haunts me. Bruno only spent about 5 years in prison before he managed to bail himself out of jail. Doesn't matter. I got him once, I can get him again. This case truly changed my solid view of justice into an ever-expanding view of shades of gray. What a colorful world we live in. Perhaps I'm better for it. Case closed.